Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are all so very kind, and it's why I love you so much. Bob Doyle here, ladies and gentlemen, on the set of the Bob Doyle Show, but we're not really here to do a Bob Doyle Show. I kind of fooled you there, but in a loving way. Please understand, there was no malice involved or intended. Can we even hear you? All right. Let's turn off the music. We don't need the music. So today is National Yoga Day. Did you know that? Did you even know that? You might have known that. Today's National Yoga Day, so I figure, well, come on. We got to do what? Some frog yoga? So that's what we're going to do. We got Frogmoore. We pulled him out of retirement. Yeah, he was retired. I didn't even know that. I call his agent. I'm like, hey, National Yoga Day, can Frogmoore do a thing? And his agent's like, well, I mean, he's retired. And I'm like, retired? He did like 2 things. And the guy's like, well, are you yelling at me right now? This is the agent talking to me. Are you yelling at me right now? Because I didn't make this decision for him. This is something that he just came up with on his own. And I'm like, all right. So the reason I'm calling is that it's National Yoga Day, and I figure maybe he can come on and do an episode of Frog Yoga, something like that. So the agent's like, well, okay, like I said, he's kind of retired, so I'm going to have a conversation with him. And I'm like, well, that's all I'm asking for. Just have a conversation and get back to me. Isn't that what you do as an agent? And he's like, hey, are you trying to tell me my job? And anyway, it just escalated this whole thing, right? But the good news is, when all is said and done, which it now is, we got it. Frog yoga is going to happen. But I'm just here to introduce it because there's all sorts of, at the pool, they're setting up cameras and they're testing microphones and they're just, they're doing the stuff. And so I'm just here to talk to you for a minute or two while they get it ready. So hold on. What's that I hear in my headset that I'm not wearing? Sounds like they're ready to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's do some frog freaking yoga. Well, hello, and welcome back. Back to where, you may ask? That's a silly thing for you to ask, since it pretty much says Frog Yoga right in the description. And that sign you just saw, this one, it says right there, welcome to Frog Yoga. And I'd like to welcome Kathy and Sarah, who both popped in and said hello. Now, what I'd really love is if these two could share the fact that we're live with Frog Yoga. Had a little bit of a false start over there on the tube of Eunice. But it seems we've sorted that out, I hope, since Kathy's watching. Just getting started with some basic Frog Yoga warm-up. I invite you at home to join in because today is National Yoga Day. Who knew? But you'll notice that it does not say National Frog Yoga Day. Sarah says she's going to do frog yoga on the beach, and of course, I love being by a body of water for frog yoga. And if you've got a beach nearby, well, I would say absolutely do it. Right? I mean, why not? All right, well, we were expecting a crowd of about 300 or 400 based on the RSVPs. Doesn't look like we've got that right now, and I think waiting for that amount of people to show up would be a waste of all of our times. I think we're all here to get into some frog yoga. Now, I want to remind you, I'm a frog. You're probably not. I found that the internet connection around most ponds with lily pads, etc., is low at best, and streaming video like this is not something that most frogs are able to do. So I understand that I'm mostly talking into a void. But that's not to say that you can't do some of the moves that we do here on Frog Yoga. It's all about just a nice, gentle stretch and some breathing. Who doesn't love breathing? Am I right? I'd like to know that everybody's doing okay and is drawing breath. So if you're out there and you're not Sarah or Kathy, please, by all means, say hello. And let us know what color your yoga mat is. And if you don't have a yoga mat, well, then God bless you. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to the book that's laying down here in just a moment when it comes time to thanking our sponsors. Our sponsor today is there in the lower left-hand corner. I want to thank the good folks at the Bob Doyle Show for allowing us to provide you with a free gift today for those of you who decide to follow that link. There's no requirement whatsoever. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Hello, Lisbeth has joined us. Now, Lisbeth has called me Froggy. It's a common thing, but I want to remind you that, in fact, my name is Frogmoore, as it says on this sign. So, I'll call you Lisbeth instead of Lisbeth, and you call me Froggy instead of Frogmoore. I feel like that's a darn good deal. All right, so we like to start every frog yoga session with a big honkin' breath. And when I say honkin', I'm talking like that honkin'. So what we do is we stand up, if at all possible. If you need to be seated, well, that's okay too. So get in whatever position you're going to get in and prepare to do some nice breathing. Now, when I say breathing, I mean breathing, boys and girls, not some weird shallow thing. Really bring it in and hold it there for a second. And if you're not doing it at home, you're wasting an opportunity to get some genuine frog yoga into your life. You sure that's the decision you want to make? We didn't think so. So here we go. Let's reach our arms up into the air. I'm choosing to hold a fist for technical reasons. I would recommend that you stretch your fingers out as you inhale and hold it with your arms stretched as high as you can make them go. And then we'll exhale and bring our arms down. It's very simple, folks. I'm sure this isn't your first breathing rodeo. Are there any questions before we begin this breathing process? We do have a question from the audience, and it's about whether or not I find it harder to breathe in or out of water, and the answer is yes. All right, let's do that breath, shall we? Inhale with me. And then when you exhale, let me hear it. Nice. I think I heard you all the way from here. That's some good croaking. Let's do it again. We don't just stop with one. That'd be silly. Let's go for two, shall we? We're going to raise our arms up in the air just like we did a second ago. I can't believe you've already forgotten. Let's breathe in now. And exhale. That, as they say, is what I'm talking about. Now, I know you think, let's get on to the stretches. Let's get on to the moves, Frogmoore. I came here to do some yoga. It's National Yoga Day, not National Stand Around and Breathe Day. Well, let me just tell you something. We're going to breathe one more time. Why? Look, I'm the instructor here. Right? Okay. As long as we have that agreement. One more time for any more questions. No more questions. Here we go. One more breath, and then I promise we'll get into some good old frog yoga stretching. Legs up in the air like you just don't care. You know what I'm saying? This is coming. Don't worry. But not before we do. Just one more breath. Here we go. And then what do we do, ladies and gentlemen? We croak. That has got to feel good. I don't care if you're a frog or not. That's just good stuff. All right, we'll take this moment to talk about the stretches we're about to do. Now, I want you to remember what I said a few moments ago about you not being a frog. You may not be able to duplicate all the moves I do here, like my friend, I don't know, Barry. That's a bad choice. Whatever, isn't it? Should we go visit him real quick before we get started? Come on, we're going to take a trip, Mr. Rogers style. Here we are, hanging out with my amphibious friend, whatever his name is. Hello, whatever your name is. It's nice to be good to animals. Let's not forget that. All right, let's go back and do what we came here to do. Whatever that might have been. Well, when I say croak, Sarah, of course, I don't mean in the give up life kind of way. Literally, we mean the croak. You can do it, if you try. All right, we're going to do our first move. Now, with frog yoga, we like to start with some leg work. You know, we rely on our legs a good bit for the hopping and whatnot. I'm sure you're familiar with that aspect of frogness, which is the scientific term. We don't like to complicate things as frogs. You know, if it's frogness, we just call it frogness. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to start by just simply lifting one leg up in the air. It's a balancing exercise. We can put our arms out airplane style like we did in school and just hold your knee up in the air. Are you doing it? Are you trying? Are you at least thinking about trying? I'm thinking about you thinking about trying and therefore losing my balance. Let's slowly bring the foot down. There we go. Now, how did that feel? Good, right? Let's do it with the other leg as long as we're here. We're going to lift up the leg just like we did before, only the other one. You get it? Good. Arms are out. Now let's try a little something different and raise our arms up over our head while holding the position. How's it going? Let's jump out of that real quick because I'm going to have to. Now, Lisbeth is bringing up Kermit. We would not do that to him. All right, now we're going to get the side angle camera because we're going to do something a little advanced. You could just try this at home. We're going to start by lifting one leg up, bending over slightly, and then slowly extending the leg, purposely, What happened? Some sort of magical transformation of time and music and everything. I think we have 2 or 3 things going on. What has happened? It's daytime. That's crazy. I can't follow. Okay. Where were we? Oh, yes. We're doing this. Leaning over unsuccessfully. Because remember, sometimes, some days, you're going to suck at this. So that's why we bring in hopping. It hides the fact that we're losing our balance. And it's a frog-type exercise. Again, with the daytime. I needed quiet. We're going to have to do a reset, a breathing reset. Do you feel the need to breathe? Because I do. Let's do it now. And then what do? I see. I'm going to look back at the comments here. The old-fashioned way. Right now, how's everybody doing? Because now we have to do that exact same thing with the other leg, or we'll be unbalanced. Are we ready? Then let's begin. Lift that leg up. You'll have to remember which one you used last time. Lean over and do this crazy thing. Try and be flat and then hop when you can't. Again, this will strengthen your leg muscles and make you a better frog. Don't you feel like a frog now? I know I do. All right, we're going to get down on our mats now. We'll move this for the time being. Now remember, we can't be held responsible for our legs or the fact that our butt hovers about 6 or 7 inches above the ground. That's just extremely strong core muscles that I'm able to do this. Oh, sure, I could put my butt on the ground, but I've worked so hard to develop the abdominal strength and in the back of my legs that I can actually suspend myself. So when I lie down, now is everyone doing this at home? Now you have to do this. Are you doing it? And now we'll roll up. And figure out a way to stand up gracefully. Whew, getting a little hot in here. Gotta lose that shirt. The sweat is glistening on my froggy body. Let's see if we've got any questions from the audience. We've got no questions. Just comments like, wow, it's a fairy tale. It feels like you're spectating and not participating. Lisbeth, are you not? Can we bring the camera back over here, please? Yeah, well, you could have just cut to it, but I think the crew here gets a little bored and start messing around. All right, so we shake out the arms. Do a little bit of a magical leap. All right, now we're going to get back down on the mat and do our classic downward frog. You know how it's done. Now again, your legs and body may look a little different when you do it than when I do it, because remember, you're not a frog. And now we stand up and stretch. Way up in the air. Oh yeah. That's what I call the stuff. All right, last call for questions, ladies and gentlemen. People ask me sometimes, Frogmoore, how did you manifest this incredible space, this luxurious setting for your yoga classes? Are you some kind of magician? No, I've just got a good education in how to create what I want in my life. Frogmoore, you might be saying, sounds like you're getting into a commercial. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, because if you've never read or haven't read in a while, The Science of Getting Rich, the Wallace D. Wattles classic from 19-something or other, I highly recommend you take advantage of a gift being offered by our incredible sponsors, The Bob Doyle Show. I'd play applause, but I don't have any. This book right here, it's going to blow your mind, and it's absolutely free. But you might be saying, Frogmoore, I've read that book. It didn't really blow my mind. I mean, I get it and all, but it didn't really blow my mind. Well, you know what? I understand. I recently revisited this book myself. And guess what I found? Answers. And guess what I learned about the answers? No. 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 Can I just tell you? Now, you want to keep guessing? Okay. No. No. Okay, that they're simple. Look, I won't get into it much here right now because we're trying to do some yoga. But I'm going to recommend that you follow the link on the page here where it says bobwellshow.com/rich. Grab this PDF. Okay? That's your task right now. And even if you don't want it, how about doing me a favor and asking for it anyway so I can make sure all this works, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We're going to do one last move as part of Frog Yoga to celebrate National Yoga Day. Sorry, put that away for now. This is one of our more active moves, so I hope you've gotten well rested while we took that little break. Because now we're going to do some movement. We're going to start slow, we're going to speed it up, and then we'll slow it down, and then we'll speed it up furiously, and then we'll end it. We'll do all that provided I remember exactly what I said we'd do. So let's start with some basic hand waves, arm waves, get the whole arm involved, and then just start lifting your knees up. Don't worry about being in any kind of rhythm or synchronization. Just, do some wobbling, and now do your neck. So you're just loose. Come on, Lisbeth, you can do this. Sarah, come on now. All right, and then just start turning it around. Loose as a goose. Right? Loose as a goose. And now we're going to speed it up and go around a little faster. Right? Keep going a little faster, round and around. Lift those knees up more. Shake that head. You see what I'm saying? You're just flopping around. Fun, right? You're going, why don't I do this every day, all the time? It's free. I know. All right. Well, Sarah said she was all over it, so that means that right now, Sarah feels good as a frog. That's right. A frog who just did frog yoga in celebration of National Yoga Day. Now, I know that frog yoga has been a little bit different than you're probably used to, but in case I didn't mention it before, I'm a frog, and you're not. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your Friday to join us here for Frog Yoga. We'll see you again the next time we either have another National Yoga Day, a National Frog Day, or they could do a National Frog Yoga Day. Now, if they did an international version of either of these things, we could do it then too. I don't know if there's like a regional or a state version.